So before we start to build or set up, I just want to show you quickly what we're going to do. So that's one of the results we're going to get by the end of this week, okay? So that's just a flipbook. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to render it just yet because it takes quite some time. So let me just close that for now. So by the end of the week, your hip file is going to look like something like this, okay? So I'm just gonna go quickly in there without going in details because we're going to see it a little bit later. So this is gonna be our meter. So it's just gonna be like a simple sphere, okay? And we just create our volumes. Then inside our dot network, as you can see, standard setup, nothing fancy. We're going to change a couple of settings in there to get it to look like we want and get the right speed. Then we're going to see how to up-res our sims, okay, so to get more details from our main sim. In here, we're going to see how to optimize our caches, okay, going from the low res to the up-res and saving some space on the hard drive, like how to optimize all this, okay. And then the big part is going to be in here, okay, so we have two different setups in there. So I'm just gonna go really quickly on this one. So oops, just stop this to cook. Okay, yeah. Let me just first come here. So that's gonna be my low-res cache. So I hemmed 1500 frames, okay? So my cache is just 1500 frames long. So if you look at it here, yeah, 1500. So I'm really able to play with it because I'm going to retime it a couple of times, you know, make it faster, go faster. So that's why I really want to have a big range from the very beginning. So I'm really going to be able to do kind of whatever I want with it. So if we look at it here, we're going to see we have three different sections of it. So we're going to have the bottom section of our plum, the middle section, and finally the upper section, okay? And as you can see, it's all coming for that single cache here. So we're going to change every single time here, like the velocity settings. We're gonna here multiply our density, okay, because I want it to be thicker, so the default one is not gonna be enough. So in that case, if I decide I need more, I'm just gonna double it here. And just here, we're going to see that I have a time shift with a really crazy expression. So I'm gonna give you that expression so you don't have to try to reproduce it. I'm actually going to save this as a preset and give you that preset file, okay? So it's gonna be easier for you because this time shift there, you're going to use it over and over and over again, okay? So now if I look through here, I don't see anything just now. Okay, that's normal at that point. We're going to see later what's going on with this section, okay, for the lower one. I'm gonna jump right away here. So I'm gonna need to cook, okay, and I'm just gonna zoom on it quickly. There we go. So that's gonna be a lower section, okay? So what I do, I can just move around and just place wherever I decide my volume should be. I'm just gonna cancel that. Same here, second one, okay, going a little bit up, and if we put both together, this is what we get. And then we're going to do this a couple of times, so that's gonna be the next part, the middle section, okay? So just to give it the time to cook. There we go. So what's happening in there, if we look at just one of the transform, we're just changing the scale as well every single time. So it's getting back to 1, so we scale those down here, okay, to get really small. And these are even smaller. Okay, and this one's gonna be at the end. And we change the density as well, so further it goes, lower the density is gonna be. So it's gonna fade off nicely. Just wait for it. Yep, there we go. Okay, just gonna change the background because I can't really see anything right here. There we go. That makes it already way easier to read. And just get rid of. There. Okay. And now if I display them all, so if I come down here, we're going to see a nice plume, okay? Rising up. I'm just gonna wait again a little bit. Computer's getting old. There we go. And now here we get this nice shape, okay? So instead of just simming everything as a big sim, and that would take a lot of time, a lot of memory, it would be just a pain. Just think about like all the notes you might get from a supervisor later asking you to change maybe just the end section here. So instead of having to resim everything, okay, that's not a big deal. I just go there, change what I have to that section if I have to. I can even sim another cache, you know. So I'm just gonna add an extra cache and up, be able to address that node. So it just gives you way more control about the look of your plume, okay? And that applies not just for plumes but for all kind of sims. It could be like destruction dust, explosions, and everything, whatever you want. I mean, just don't go crazy with huge sims, you know, where you want to put everything in once, because it's just gonna make your life a nightmare when it comes to optimize it, address nodes, get it done fast. And there, that cache, I can use it for that shot. I could use it for many other shots later. So just build a library of caches like this that you can take and just reuse all the time, okay? So I just wanted to show you this really quick, so now you really have an idea what we're going to do during this lesson, okay?